This is Jennifer Dono, and in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how I am time blocking in Google Calendar. I've done this before after watching a Sunny Lenarduzzi video where she talked about how she blocked time out using Google Calendar. I've tried it, and in the past, what irritated me was that I always had to be on my phone and on my computer, and that just wasn't part of my lifestyle, and I was actively trying to get away from being on my phone all the time. But now I figured out how to sync my calendar over to my watch, so I can get those little notifications of my time blocks on my watch just to kind of keep me on track. It's not like I'll drop everything and go on to that next task, but then at least I'll have kind of an idea in the back of my mind. This is what I should be doing. You probably shouldn't be looking at People magazine. You should be washing dishes. Not that I do that. So I've already had this little victory hour set up, and that is my morning pages, gratitude, a workout, and that's all within the first hour of my day, waking up at 5 a.m. I'm following the 5 a.m. club protocols. He has a number of different acronyms that you kind of have to jump on top of. And at first I thought it was all kind of silly, but now I do find it very helpful because you remember all these important life skills that he suggests that you take part in. Before I get into incorporating his rhythm into it, I've already created a bookmark that reminds me of his exact rhythm, but I wanted to go over my daily rhythm that I had set up based off of what it was that we needed to get done in the day, my family. And then I went into the Google Calendar and I'm starting to add that on. Now, this is all part of its own calendar. I have a main calendar that has all the appointments and things that I have commitments with other people for. The daily flow, or daily rhythm is what I'm calling it, is really just as a reminder to myself to be productive and to remember what it is that I value and the things that are going to help me achieve my goal. Making sure that it's fun too by adding all these little emojis in. Whenever I get a notification popping up on my watch, it won't be something irritating or confusing. I can see just the little emoji and be reminded, oh yeah, this is what I should be doing right now. So I'm just making sure that everything looks nice and tidy at this moment. I'm making sure too that all of these are repeated every day during the week. My 5 a.m. wake up is every day, regardless of a weekend or weekday, but a lot of these things are relying on my kids participating in, such as the homeschool pieces, and they're not going to want to do this every day on a Saturday and Sunday, so I didn't bother scheduling some of these things on every day, such as morning lessons, which is things like math, language arts, and any work that they need to do for their hybrid homeschool program. Now, that's more of like a cooperative piece, so they do have Zoom classes, and I have a whole other calendar that you can see is unchecked right now, so you're not going to see my kids' appointments there, but I'm usually actively working with one kid while the other one is in a Zoom class. It's not ideal, and it's been incredibly frustrating. You got to be grateful for what you can get right now. The lunch piece, and all these are just like suggestions. So we're not going to have lunch for 2 hours or anything crazy like that, but it's bulking out the time. So it's time spent outside. It's a time when I can go for a walk. It's time, in that time, my husband will be off for lunch too. So it's just keeping note of that. And now that I'm getting into the afternoon, this is when things get fun because it's bouncing back over to Robin Sharma's different suggestions. And some of them are going to be pretty out there for me, especially ones that are more on the self-care array of actions or activities, because if I found out anything in the artist way, is that self-care and taking time for myself is uncomfortable. The tight bubble of total focus, I'm adding this on to both of my working blocks in the morning and later on, because I might have the opportunities to do some work throughout the day, but those two set aside times are times that I have no distractions and that I'm focused really hard as I can on work. I talked about this in another video with the daily passion planner. This is the turn down piece. This is when I'm making sure beds are presentable, pajamas are laid out, anything that the kids will need me for later on in the evening, I want to make sure is already taken care of. So my attention is not being pulled in multiple directions after dinner, and I can really just focus on getting ready for bed. The 2WW is the second wind workout, and this is for making sure, and it's also, I think I add this in a second, it could also be used as a 2MP, which is the 2 massage protocol. I'm telling you, there's acronyms for everything, but it's again about self-care and making sure that you're well taken care of. Look, I added dishes into that dinner. I'm going to get those dishes done before 7. I definitely will. I'm moving things around. But going back to the 2MP piece, I was looking up because I'm not going to be getting 2 massages a week. I'm sorry, Robin Sharma. It's not that I don't value myself and my health, but it's just, that's not going to happen. And so I looked up his big thesis on why you should do that, or one of the pieces, is the release of oxytocin. And so I looked up some different ways that you could release oxytocin without having to do a massage twice a week. And I'm incorporating that, such as yoga, or even doing kind of like a DIY massage, or massaging like chain and I don't know. It's been interesting. But I took that advice and I incorporated it into the daily flow in just a second. And then the wind down, this is also something that is just really essential. So I make sure that everything, my kitchen is closed and clutter is all taken care of. I have like 6 or so cards in my cleaning cards. That's kind of like my end of day procedure. And I want to make sure that all of that is taken care of during that wind down period. And then just adjusting, as you can see, here comes in the main calendar. And then you can see another calendar for my dance. So I have other appointments that I'm adding in my cleaning cards and a movie night, little things like that I want set aside. And I'm going to keep up my daily rhythm calendar because I still want to see that, because that's time that I want to make sure that I commit to. But at the same time, I want to make sure that I have that appointment movie night, if that makes sense. And our movie nights have gotten really fun, especially for the holidays. I'm trying my best to make those really important. We talked about some of the things that the kids were missing for the holidays. And one of the things that they said they missed was going out to the movies or going to the mall, like doing the out there in the public type events that are just not happening right now. So we're trying to make things festive and magical and fun in a home environment. It's been interesting. Again, that's kind of the theme of this video. So going back, just to make sure that I get these on my watch, I'm adding notifications. So 10 minutes prior to each event or each flow change, I'm going to get a notification on my watch that says, hey, heads up, this is coming up. And on top of that, I have another notification for things like the Zoom classes that are coming up. I'm going to test it out for a day and see how it goes. I can change it if it doesn't work out. So this cleaning period is another period on top of the daily flow. So instead of working for that full period, I'm going to have to focus on cleaning, because each day, if you looked at my schedule or my flow earlier on with the spreadsheet, each day I have a main focus. Mondays and Thursdays are my cleaning days. It has been that way since Wyatt was like 1.5. My cleaning day is where one day I usually focus on like the bathrooms and the general house, and Thursday's more of a moderate day, so it's more of just a kitchen focus. And I don't always get to those, and so having it in the calendar will be nice too, just to remind myself to make sure that I take that seriously. Now, rather than putting dinners and meals directly into the calendar, what I do is I put them into Trello, and this is something I've done for quite a while as well. And that makes accessing the ingredients and recipes really easy when I'm out, I'm trying to get things done in the kitchen and just pulled all different directions. I can see that coming up in my calendar and know if I need to run to the grocery store or that I need to. A lot of my things are made from scratch, so I will make the ketchup. I will, like I have a cauliflower hummus. I have to make the cauliflower hummus that's going to be in a wrap one of the days. That's something that is a priority of mine. It's something I like to do. I make sure that I take the time to do that. So adding in the food calendar, it's just like a simple URL that you pull into the Google Calendar. And that way, when I have that event there, I see it's coming up. I get a notification. I can open up the appointment and click directly over to Trello. From that Trello card, I have that linked into a recipe. So it's all really fast to set up each week, and all of my recipes are already in my Trello board. Before I wrap things up, I'm going to go ahead and check in on my Christmas planning board. And again, all of my projects for my life are in Trello. And that way it just keeps me nice and organized. I go over upcoming holidays, and then I had a list of things that I wanted to get done before 2021. I just reviewed things, made sure that I checked things off that I had completed, and then thought to myself, ooh, you should probably get this done. Reality of whether or not I will get these things done, I don't know, honestly. But it's a good thought that I do want to get Christmas cards out. We'll see if I do. If it's important, I'll put it on my to-do list. I've been pretty good about I made these cute little movie snack packs. I made a movie wheel. And so like I said, I've been checking things off the list. If it's important, it'll get done. That was an overview of Google Calendar time blocking with Jennifer Dono. I've only done this once before and it didn't go so well, but now that I have my watch notifications, I have fun emojis, and I have a different rhythm and a different purpose for why I need to be reminded of my rhythm, I think it's going to go better this time. And then I can always go back to using that daily passion planner that I have if I need to jot down, if I feel overwhelmed, and I need to physically write things down or have that checklist going. I can always still do that. I'd prefer not to do that every day, but it's nice to know that that's available and that I have at least somewhere noted all the things that I should be doing during the day. So if you like this video or found it helpful at all, please hit the like button and make sure you comment letting me know if you're going to apply this to your life, if you've already applied it, if I'm doing something wrong. I'd love to hear it. Otherwise, I hope you have a fabulous week. It's a week before Christmas, and I hope to check in with you again tomorrow. Thanks, guys.